The Istanbul neighbourhood of Tarlabaşı has long been the black sheep of the chic, well-known Beyoğlu district. Home to the tourist haven of Taksim Square and other popular city hotspots, most avoid Tarlabaşı for fear of its negative reputation as being home to the city's rougher and more colourful residents. The irony is that Tarlabaşı was the first example of urban planning commissioned by the municipality of Istanbul back in the 19th century. Constanze Lech is a German student doing her PhD on the threat of urban development in Istanbul.
Now, these buildings are clearly not what they were years ago. What is going on here? Why are they in such disarray?
In 2005, the Istanbul municipality announced that they wanted to renew Tarlabaşı.
The ruling Justice and Development Party has implemented a radical urban renewal project dubbed Tarlabaşı Yenileniyor. Tarlabaşı is renewed, making it possible for them to restore any building they deem unsafe. Musa Avar is a former tenant in the area. Despite owning a tea shop here, he was forced to move his family to another part of the city about 30 minutes away when his building was evicted. Yet he is still very supportive of the gentrification of Tarlabaşı.
If the people would repair their houses, it would be good, but they don't. The area is not good for living. It shouldn't be like this. The area is the brains of Istanbul. The owners didn't give it that importance. It's a garbage dump.
On this garbage dump, the government plans on building luxury housing, hotels and a shopping mall.
275 buildings are affected of this. And as soon as the people had left, other people in the neighborhood started to scavenge for windows, doors, metal, cables, anything that could bring a few lira at the recycling shop, basically. So that's why it looks so terrible.
This isn't the only community in Istanbul to be affected by these government directives. And as lives drastically change and these buildings come crumbling down, many in these communities are asking why it's their community that's being targeted.
Many residents question the government's true intentions behind the restoration projects. For one, the tender of the planned project was awarded to a company tied to the son-in-law of Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Others see it as a way of diluting the concentration of non-Turks in the area.
Turkish people is fine. You know what I mean? Just Armani people, Gypsy people, Greece people, who live it here. This government do it just for his people, you know what I mean? For his daughter, husband.
So what happened to the tenants that used to live here and what happened to the landowners? Were they compensated in any way?
The tenants weren't compensated at all. The landowners were compensated, but as far as I know from my research here, they didn't get very much because people got the choice between either to get paid for the apartment or house they had to leave or to get an apartment or house in the new renovated development zone.
Yet these new development zones are much smaller, much more expensive and much farther away.
That's a big problem, of course, because people here, as you can see, is a very low income group. So most of the people who live here cannot afford to pay such prices. And of course the fact that people have a social network here, have their jobs here, the children go to school here. So most people that I know did not consider actually going to the social housing tower blocks.
Economically, the benefits of renovating the area are obvious. Tarlabaşı's close proximity to Taksim Square makes it prime real estate. As Turkey's robust economy flourishes, speculation is lucrative. The value of property in Turkey rose by 7.7% between the last quarter of 2010 and 2011, with the city of Istanbul seeing the largest growth. As well, public safety is of concern. Following the devastating earthquake that hit the eastern Turkish city of Van last October, the government has placed high importance on building safety across the country, leading to new national urban development projects.
But not all areas in Istanbul going through transformation or urban development are being handled in the same manner. This is a district of Esenler, where old buildings, just like in other communities, are being torn down to make way for brand new ones.
While also being one of Istanbul's oldest neighborhoods, Esenler is also one of the densest residential areas in the city, with approximately 70,000 people per square meter.
The difference of this project is that people do not have to move.
The mayor of Esenler has a tough project on his hands, trying to renew a district of 500,000 people.
We built new buildings in an uninhabited area and then moved the people from the old area next door into those new buildings.
The project started 2 years ago, with another 2 to go until a total of 3,500 new flats will have been built. Mayor Göksu says 78% of his district support the project and want to be involved, particularly after the Van earthquake.
Our aim is to make this project while saving the social makeup of the area. You can build nice, new buildings, but if you destroy the neighborhood relations, the project has no meaning.
Onun için baştan söyledim.
In keeping with this, the social economic profiles of the smaller communities within Ensendler are kept intact, while increasing homeowners' assets by 40%, so those smaller communities rise together. Yet future problems could arise from the rise of government tower blocks intended for residents of other districts going through urban development, as currently seen across Europe.
All these poor people are going to all be living together in these tower blocks without being afforded the little tactics that they can employ here to get by. I mean, you can see the recycling guys here as a prime example. They are linked to the city. If they live in a tower block, they're out of a job. So not only do these people get robbed of their homes, they get robbed of their jobs, and this, of course, in the future will create lots of social tension.
As Turkey transforms from its rough days of the past to keep in step with its rising regional and global political presence, the debate will continue if it's stepping 1 foot too far ahead of itself. Natalie Carney for Press TV in Istanbul.